any form of comment, and I shall get back to you as soon as possible on what my intake and my personal opinion on each game. I love the Darksiders series. I do. I like Darksiders, and I like how they've remastered the #1 and how they have #2. So far I haven't seen #2 in stores yet, which is a bit of a letdown. Sorry about the coughing. I think I might be coming down with another chest infection. At the moment I'm playing Bloodborne, or may not know. If there's any game I'd love to start with the most for games that should be put on the PS4, I would probably have to go with Sleeping Dogs and White Knight Chronicles, as well as all the Mass Effect. I'll personally start with White Knight Chronicles. It was one of those really annoying RPG cross non-RPG games that, you know, it's got that excitement, but at the same time it doesn't. Your main character, like the character you create, is not the main character. The main character is Leonard, someone that you have with you. Your character is just that main side character that the main character's got, you know, as the support. I personally find it a lot easier using my own character more than using Leonard's. Just for that simple build I put behind my character. A great two-handed swordsman, male or female, it doesn't really matter on what sex you choose for the character, which I do like. It doesn't have that set, oh, if you choose a male, you know, or you choose a female, you've got certain perspectives. It's one straight up game, no matter what you choose, male or female, it's the same outcome. And it's great. I love it. Personally, it's one of my favorites. I reckon it should be remastered on PS4. Sleeping Dogs is another good game. It's just like Saints Row and Grand Theft Auto mixed together in one, all based on being in China and staying in China. Like it's a Japanese, Chinese type game that's based more their country side of it more than anything else. It's good. I like it. You're pretty much a rogue cop. I would love to see Prototype with Alex Mercer, like a full remaster with all the DLC, like with the DLC skin pack and his abilities. I would love to see that for PS4. I would love to. It was one of my most favorite games playing on the PS3, and looking back at it now, it still is one of my most favorite games to look back at. I really do love the game. I love Prototype. I love Prototype 2 as well. I did hear that they were making a #3. I'm hoping that they do make #3. But also by saying that, I really hope they remaster #1 and 2 of Prototype and bring them out way before, or at least bring them out before they bring out #3, or bring out both of them as well as #3 at the same time, all as one big game. where you have to play the first one, then the second one, and then you've got the third one straight after. Like, all 3 games on the one disc would be absolutely amazing. For, I'd say, possibly a collector's edition for the PS4, that would be pretty cool. Because realistically, they don't have much that they'll need to work with the number 1, apart from make it more PS4. And change a couple of the button layouts around and, you know, some of the small bits and pieces. And then with number 2, oh, like, yeah, there'd be a lot more working around with the mechanics that they would have to do. Like, there would be a lot of that. But I reckon it would be one of those absolutely well-loved games on PS4. In my personal opinion, I reckon it would be one of them well-loved games for PS4. I loved it for the PS3. Like, number 1 was good, number 2 was absolutely amazing as well in its own perks and perspective. It brings in a whole new, another character. Like, the first one and the second one, it's all about Alex Mercer, but it's not completely about Alex Mercer in the second one. The second one's more of a Alex Merciless. So it's not actually Alex Mercer himself, it's just an imposter basically. And that's who you end up fighting right at pretty much near the end. Is you're fighting a whole different Alex Mercer. And that's pretty much what happens at the end of number 2, and I love it, I really do. It kind of plays a lot of mind tricks with your head for Prototype 1 and 2. It's great. But if they did do a number 3, that would be pretty interesting to see how that would go. But I'd love to see Prototype 1 and 2 definitely on the PS4. They were such well-loved games by me, personally. I love them too much. There is one other game I would love to see on PS4. Metal Gear Revengeance, I believe it is. Metal Gear Revengeance. That was on PS3. I'd love to see that on PS4. Just that whole Raiden aspect with the whole Jack the Ripper. If they bring out a full remastered version of that with all the DLCs and that extra gameplay perspective, and just bring it more out for the PS4 with the DLCs, would be absolutely fucking amazing. Like, that was a well-loved game, not just by me, but by thousands of other, like, by at least a good hundreds, if not thousands of other people. Hence why I'd love to see it on PS4, I really would. There's a couple of really older games that I would love to see on PS4 as well, but my main big focus that I really want to see and need to see on PS4 would have to be the Mass Effect series. It really would be. My main topic is going to be Mass Effect for putting it on PS4. It really will be. Just to inform you guys, Mass Effect will be the big conversation at the moment. Just for the simple fact of, it's one of those games that needs to be put on PS4 for that lead up to Mass Effect Andromeda. They were such great games. You know, a couple of extra new endings or something like that would be absolutely amazing to chuck in there. There's a lot of things I'd love to see from the Mass Effect series and the Mass Effect team. There really is. I'd love to see Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3 all remastered for the PS4, all the DLCs possible, everything, you name it, I'd love to see it all on PS4 for Mass Effect. I love the majority of the weapons that you can get in it too, like, oh my god. I am in love with the collector's armor and the collector weapon. Like, just to see that weapon go off, it is absolutely amazing. Like I said, Mass Effect, I love what they did with Mass Effect. Just that constant build up for the next game that they did for it was so brilliant. I love how they ended number 1. It could have been a lot better for the ending. Number 2 has that extra, alright, there is more of a lead on. And then there's number 3. Number 3 has 2 ways of ending. If done right, I'm pretty sure there is. But the main ending is always Shepard dying. There is another one that can be accessed. It's just a lot harder and more annoying. But you're better off sticking with Shepard dying at the end of number 3. So then that way the Mass Effect series does take off. But if you do keep the character alive, hopefully something with Mass Effect would change too. Secretly. Like, that would be an absolutely well-loved feature. I think that would work pretty well. I'd love to see that from the Mass Effect team. But I'd also love to see some of those old weapons be brought back into the newer game too. Like the collector's armor. Some of the collector weapons. Majority of all the old armor and weapons that they used, I'd love to see in the Mass Effect Andromeda series. But only have it so it can only be transferred from the previous games into the newer game only by transferring your saved data. I wish they did that with number 2 and 3. I really do. That was a pretty big letdown for me. I'd have to be perfectly honest. Number 2, you couldn't transfer any of your weapons or your armor or any of it. The only thing that would, you know, travel over to the next game, like from Mass Effect 1 to 2 to 3, the only thing that would transfer over would be your character's looks and appearance. Nothing else really changes. It's kind of sad how nothing really changes on that, but it does add a whole new kind of perspective and things. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Mass Effect, I really do, but there's so much that I would love to see from it, from the team. Like, Mass Effect is one of them well-loved games, it really is. It's loved by me and so many more other people that I know, and it's just one of those games I'd love to see on Mass Effect, on PS4. Mass Effect is one of those real great games that I would love to see. And that's just the original Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3. I'd love to see them on the PS4, I really would. I reckon that'd be great. Like, they were so great on the PS3, and the moment they bring out Mass Effect Andromeda for PS4, and you start seeing all the gameplay for it, you start thinking, shit, I need to go back and start playing number 1 again, the original Mass Effect. The controls are heaps different, they really are, but at the same time, I love what they've done with the new version of Mass Effect, I really do. You can splice between your abilities, that's so much more cooler and more effective. than the original gameplay of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. But, as I said before, I'd love to see one good thing from the Mass Effect team, and that would be 1, 2, and 3 make a full, proper change to the Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay. And if they don't do that, well, the next best thing that they could do for that is transfer all the weapons and everything, all the weapons and armor that you can get in the first 1, 2, and 3 of the game, or at least the first 2 and 3, would be amazing to see transferred over to Mass Effect Andromeda. At the same time, it wouldn't make a lot of sense, but it would be that Easter egg, which I'd love to see in the Mass Effect series. Is quite a lot of Easter eggs. If they did remaster number 1, 2, and 3, I'd love to see a lot of Easter eggs for the next game in that previous one. So in number 1, they show you little Easter eggs throughout the entire first one to prove that number 2 will take place straight after. And then there's that number 3. So where in number 2 you've got little hints and Easter eggs of number 3, but yet with all 3 have that little Easter egg of Mass Effect Andromeda. But with Mass Effect Andromeda, I have a lot of Easter eggs to do with 1, 2, and 3 within that, referring back to them. So there's a lot of transfer backwards and forwards in the Easter egg versus and dimensional timelines, pretty much however you want to put it. You've got the one where you've got Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 all about Shepard, and then you've got Andromeda, which is not about Shepard, it's about a whole new person. Yet again, I kinda really didn't like the ending of number 3, how they kill Shepard, but it does throw in that extra, now that Shepard's dead, we need someone else to take over in a different place. That would be absolutely amazing to see. But sadly, that doesn't happen. Oh yay, internet warning. That's interesting. But yeah, leave your comments down below about what you think of Mass Effect 1, 2, 3 and Andromeda being all out on PS4. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to read them, especially your opinions on how they should go and how they should fit all in one. I'm also kind of hoping that the Mass Effect team actually kind of review and look at it, just for that simple fact and meaning that, look, there are a lot of people that still play the Mass Effect series and the games, and they would love to see number 1, 2 and 3 definitely remastered on the PS4. Like, yeah, their graphics and whatnot may not be able to, 100% work on the PS4, but it would be lovely and great to see, just knowing that it's on PS4. It would bring up a lot of high hopes. And it would make a lot of people's day. Oh shit, that didn't look interesting. Fuck! I almost had the bitch too. Almost. But yeah, leave your comments and prescriptions down below. Feel free to send me a private message if you want to. Preferably relate back to this video to do with Mass Effect and what games that they should bring out on PS3. PS3 to the PS4. I'd love to hear everything. I do love how they did bring out the Skyrim. That was great. That was well appreciated. I do love how they did that. I've seen a lot of other people make videos with themselves involved, as well as the gameplay, and majority of the time it's a lot of females. It's generally of cosplay or, you know, something from a video game aspect that majority of the people love, and they just sit there and wear it while they're playing some of these games, and they can play, you know, nearly any game they want. And you don't really realise or notice it's them until you watch a broadcast or, you know, something else like that. And it kind of sucks how they're really, really beautiful and pretty, amazing girls that look absolutely astonishingly fucking beautiful. And then you've got your females that are your average females who are, you know, pretty much the same. They may not look as good for some people. Like, everyone has their own different view and perspective of another person. I mean, for a perfectly great example, one person can find one person attractive and the other person may not find that person attractive. I myself, I see quite a lot of beautiful, and I mean beautiful, and amazingly good looking females, and very attractive females, mind you, doing a lot of live streaming and video gaming videos and a lot of cosplay through photos. And I myself, I would love to do that. I would love to, but the closest I would ever go would be, you know, making a live stream video and talk about things that should be talked about, not what I want to talk about, and have no major point that should, you know, slowly go across the entire world and talk about pretty much nothing. I want to be able to talk about something that should be able to improve all forms of platforms of video games, not just for the PS4 but also for the Xbox. I don't own any Xbox consoles. I own the PS3, the PS2 and the PS4. I also play the Nintendo DS at the moment. I don't have my DS with me. Now and then I generally live stream. I used to have a live stream account before until things went sour and I had to delete everything and restart fresh. So that's what I've done now, and kind of hope you guys enjoy the video. Like I said before, leave your comments and any form of prescriptions or anything like that down below. It was nice talking to you guys about cause, as well as sleeping dogs. But yeah, leave a prescription down below on what games you reckon they should bring out that was on PS3 to PS4, and preferably a reason behind it. If not, and you don't have a legitimate reason but you would just love to see it on PS4, leave a comment down below. I'll do some reviews on it, my personal opinions, and I myself, like, I never really liked Bloodborne at first, but then it started growing on me. It was like that with quite a lot of other games. Like, it grew, like, I started growing attached to it. The more I started playing it, and the more help I got, and the more easier I found the controls, and it's like learning a whole brand new game all over again. I love that thrill. I love that feeling. I do. But there would also be a lot of games I'd love to see be remastered on the PS4. There really is. Mass Effect 1 to 3 would absolutely be amazing to see on the PS4, I reckon. In my opinion, I would love to. I'd love to see it. And I would buy it. Sleeping Dogs was actually pretty good for me on PS3. I'd love to see that on PS4 remastered. I did like the gameplay, how you got to be a rogue cop and you got to fuck shit up and be a gangster at the same time. I did love that. White Knight Chronicles, I mean, yeah, your character doesn't get to turn into a knight, but on the plus side, you recruit people that are just as powerful, and even then, if you do it right and you level yourself up decently and you do it right and absolutely fucking amazingly perfect, you'll have no problems through the gameplay, and the story will just be nothing but a piece of piss. You'll fly through it easy. Preferably make sure your character's within the level 60 mark before you get up to the about halfway through, which would be the Red Dragon. That's the part that I'm currently stuck at the moment, but my character's within the level 40 mark. 41, 42, 41, 40, 42 and 43, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they're in the level 40, 41 mark, level 42 if that. That itself had such great gameplay, but Prototype was my more favourite one out of the entire lot, and the main two games that I know I'd love to see definitely be remastered on the PS4 would have to be the Mass Effect series of Mass Effect 1 to 3 and Prototype 1 and 2. I would love to see them on PS4. But one can only dream, right? One can only dream. Who knows, maybe if we're lucky enough we might or might not see it on PS4. It just depends on how they want to do things. I'd love to see it on PS4, I really would. I'm kind of hoping they do, and if they do, I'd love to see them bring it out as soon as possible. You know, some early access, some extra features, that would be fucking amazing. It'd be absolutely great. I apologize for any swearing, repeated ums and ands that were made throughout the video. I do apologize. And for the constant repeats that I've done too, if I've made any. I seem pretty apologetic at the moment, but it's just who I am. Personally, as myself. You've probably noticed that now and then, halfway through a sentence, I'll stop. It's not one of those conversation things. It's just physically and mentally I'd use the word challenged, but it's that major overkill on the word challenge, because I've heard that being thrown around so much. And I'm not going to talk too much on myself. I'm just going to leave it a short video. If I had to say anything, I'd probably go with, I'm very mentally challenged, but I'm not mentally challenged at the same time. I just have that real bad speech now and then. But other than that, that's pretty much about it from me. Leave a comment down below about what games you would love to see on PS4. And I hope to hear from you guys soon, or in the nearby future, on your opinions, and also just to hear what games you love on PS4 would be a good one as well. I want to be able to reach out to people and have conversations and be able to talk about games. I love games, I really do. Bloodborne, Dragon Ball. I have Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1, but I've only got number 2 with me at the moment. Number 1's being lent out. I have Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, Skyrim, a friend of mine's Digimon for the PS4, Final Fantasy Type 0. I'm thinking of doing a broadcast for that, only because I haven't seen one. Just for the start of it, I think. Just like a starting video of my personal opinion. Final Fantasy 15, of course. I had to. I've seen other people play it and it looked great, so I thought, fuck it, I'll grab it myself. Then I also have a leading up game of Darksiders 1, the first one remastered, and then I have Dishonored 1 and 2. I've got the hard copy of 2 where number 1 came with it through code. But as that goes, it's not too bad. There's a lot of other games I would love to mention, but I'll just leave this one short. As I said, feel free to leave a comment down below, or a small little private conversation about what game you would love to see on PS4, or what game you do love to play on PS4 even. Just any forms of means of, you know, talking, having a conversation about games, what games are liked, you know, or even a game you'd love to see a video of, like video footage of. Just throw me in random requests or anything like that. There's a couple of glitches that I've found and seen for PS3 as well as the PS4 for some games. Some not many people actually do know about, and then there are some that no one know about at all. At the end of it all, it just depends on which game. So as I said before, feel free, leave a comment down below about anything in particular. Preferably to do with games. I only want to make it a habit of talking about games, not women or other broadcasters. If there's anything you want to see on my end, you know, me with my gameplay on, you know, Type 0 or 15 or Darksiders or Dishonored or even a, you know, how to run through Bloodborne as quick as possible from start to finish, or even how to unlock all areas, or even a what's your most preferred class or race in Skyrim. What do you start off with? Do you start off as a mage and work that up, or do you start off as a bit of both, or do you go the more assassin type scheme behind it all, or do you go through the companions? You know, do you prefer Saiyans or the Boo race or the Freezer race or the Namekian race or the Earthlings, for example, to do with Dragon Ball? You know, any question you want to ask me, feel free to. Hopefully, preferably something more to do with games, not personal life. I will not talk about personal life. That is a complete restricted. I may talk about one or two things that might be personal. It just depends on how personal it is and who it's from or who's it about. Generally takes into play too. But yeah, as I said, feel free, leave a comment, preferably about games or anime. I love anime myself, as well as video games, so feel free to talk to me about anime as well. I've caught up on some animes, not all, so bear with me on anime. And there's still quite a lot of anime I'm still yet to watch as well. If you've got any tips or pointers on good anime, again, put a comment down below stating what's a good anime to watch. I'd love to hear other people's opinions. I've watched High School DxD, pretty much all of them, all of the series of that. I've watched a bit of Blood Plus, Sword Art Online, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Sword Art, Elfhelm. I've seen my bits and pieces of Digimon. Even Yu-Gi-Oh! It's pretty much a toss and a turn in some aspects and a way, I guess. But yeah, like I said before, I'd love to see Mass Effect on PS4. And as again, feel free to leave a comment down below to do with anime to watch, or a game you'd like to see me play, or even the game that you'd like to see on PS4, or you have on PS4 and you want to know something about it. Any of them type of questions, feel free. Or even music is another good one. I'm hoping to get a better setup for live streaming, but that will only depend on the viewers. Until then, I'm going to sign off, let everyone enjoy their day, and to have fun